Good morning, good afternoon, or good night. I'm Dino Avatar, and today I want to talk with you about my favorite scene in all of RWBY. Not that one. Not that one either. Nope. Don't worry, we'll get there. It's not a fight scene, by the way. It's nope. No, it's Yang and Raven's talk at the end of Volume 5. Yes, yes, I'm serious. No, it's not clickbait. You know what? You know what? Fine. We're moving on. We're moving on. I'll tell you why it's my favorite. All right? We're moving on.
Let go the sky.
So yeah, Yang and Raven's confrontation is my favorite scene in all of RWBY. But the question you're all asking is probably why? And it's because the scene does two things. It finishes Yang's fantastic character arc, and it turns Raven from this flat character who's all like, ooh, weak die, strong survive, me, into a three-dimensional character who has fears and motives and an interesting backstory. As long as you ignore the birds. Both of this is done in such a great scene with a lot of nice little touches that help push that sort of message along that it's great. Stuff like, the Alright, look, it's hard for me to explain because my memory is the worst. So I'm just gonna sort of analyze, play by play. Sure, play by play the scene. Sound cool? Cool. Alright, so Yang and Raven's confrontation. Let's do this. So here's some backstory just so you know. Is that this is the Battle of Haven. Raven, Cinder, and Vernal went down to the vaults to grab the relic, but then Cinder killed Vernal, and Raven revealed she was the Spring Maiden this whole time. So then Raven killed Cinder, and then Yang, trying to stop the bad guys from getting the relic, goes down to the vaults to stop everything, meeting Raven along the way. Alright, that should be it. And play.
I warned you, Yang. I gave you every opportunity to walk away from Crow and Oz. So you can believe me when I say this wasn't personal.
You opened the vault.
Alright, first thing I want to talk about is the fact that Yang's missing her arm here. Because since this scene is sort of the end of her arc, and is like, oh, here's everything, all everything that's been bothering her just coming together. Having her be missing her arm is really, really nice, and sort of helps push that message along, I guess.
Thanks to the chaos you and your friends caused upstairs. I knew you could handle it. You're my daughter, after all.
Alright, another thing, watch Raven here, because this entire scene sort of takes off the mask for Raven, I suppose, and reveals that all of her arrogance and bravery was just fake, was just an act she put on. And so, as the scene goes along, she just gets progressively worse and worse and worse.
Crow and Oz told me how the maiden powers were transferred. The girl you found. She would have had to have trusted you if you were in her final thoughts. Cared about you a lot.
I'm sure they told you plenty.
Also, this is my favorite moment, because this is the beginning of her downfall, is right. Just watch Raven's mouth.
And you just sat and obeyed.
No.
Arrogance.
I'm starting to ask questions
Arrogance.
like you said. So tell me.
Anger. Because
What?
it's why else? Like Yang said, Raven told her to start asking questions. So why would Raven be annoyed? It's because it wasn't about Ozpin. It was she ran away because of Salem, but you know, running away from Salem doesn't fit her whole act. So she says it was Ozpin to push the I'm independent and scary. Ooh.
What happened to the last Spring Maiden? Did she die in battle? Was it sickness?
What does it matter to you?
props to Raven's voice actress, because that line delivery was fantastic, and there's a lot of like hidden emotion in there, and that was great.
I could already see the answer. It's all over your face. How could you?
She was scared.
This part is great because it shows that Raven cared, you know.
When we found her.
This
Weak.
just watch.
No matter how much training I put her through, she never learned. She wasn't cut out for this world. And with those powers, she would have been hunted her entire life. What I did
Wasn't personal.
it was mercy.
This wasn't her. This was 100% her caring about the Spring Maiden, because she legitimately thinks it was mercy, especially when you connect that to the fact that she's so afraid of Salem that she really does think that anything was better than being the Maiden, which is why she, you know, hid behind Vernal. Is that any death is better than being hunted for being the Maiden, you know, which is nice.
Which is it, Mom? Are you merciful? Or are you a survivor? Did you let me walk into that trap because you knew I could handle it? Or because it meant you could get what you wanted?
It's not that simple. You don't know me. You don't know what I've been through. The choices I've had to make.
And that's another thing, is that what this entire scene does is it shows that there is a lot more to Raven than we thought. You know, we don't know her, so she does actually care, and she isn't all strength and stuff, which is, it's nice. I like this. That's why I like this scene, is because it turned a very boring character into something a lot better.
You're right. I don't know you. I only know the Raven Dad told me about. She was troubled and complicated, but she fought for what she believed in, whether it was her team or her tribe. Did you kill her too?
I've stared death in the face over and over again, and every time I've spat in that face and survived because I'm strong enough to do what others won't.
And this is her being insulted because Yang said you don't care about people, you know. Like, and Raven does care. And that's why she is so angry.
Oh, shut up! You don't know the first thing about strength. You turn your back on people. You run away when things get too hard. You put others in harm's way instead of yourself. You might be powerful, but that doesn't make you strong.
Traumatic point.
Who do you think you are lecturing me? Standing there shaking like a scared little girl.
Yeah, I'm scared, but I'm still standing here. I'm not like you. I won't run, which is why you're going to give me the relic.
And why would I?
Because you're afraid of Salem! And if you thought having maiden powers put a target on your back, imagine what she'll do when she finds out you have a relic. She'll come after you with everything she has. Or she could come after me.
And this is Raven, you know, realizing that, oh, Yang is definitely the person I could never be. You know, this is Yang, because this is Raven realizing, oh, hey, you're, oh no, you're better than me. Uh-oh.
And I'll be standing there, waiting for her.
You don't want to do this, Yang.
And there's Raven's love or care, at least, care for Yang coming out. Because she still doesn't want Yang to do this, even though Raven is scared.
Nope. But I'm gonna do it anyway.
And this is where Raven realizes she's failed, you know? Like,
I'm sorry.
mhm.
Yeah. Me too.
Gone. Scene is still really, really good at showing Raven. Like, it's such a great character moment for her. And for Yang as well. Oh, and the relic. But, I don't care about the MacGuffins. Like, that's... I'm not a big fan. Is this one's choice, right? Because if it's choice, that makes this scene even better, because that's just fantastic. I think it is choice. Alright. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if this is choice, this scene is just so much better. And this is where Yang chooses, I guess, to, you know, give up on her mom. So, yeah. Scene's still so good. Alright. Yeah, that scene is fantastic. Alright.
All things must die.
So, class, what did we learn today? We learned that Raven is 100% the world's worst mom, and that Yang is 100% done with cowards. There's no Blake model on the Steam Workshop, so here's just an image of a sad bumblebee. Let's start with Raven, shall we? Arguably the character with the most gain from the scene. In 10 minutes, Raven went from an awful person to an awful person that I'd completely understand. We learned that she wasn't running from Osmond's lies or Yang, she was running from Salem. In a single sneer, they made a character I was really ready to hate for just being boring into a character I wanted to see more of, and I love that. And Yang. Yang's arc throughout Volume 4 and 5 is one of my favorite things of RWBY, and this ending was the perfect conclusion for it. Seeing everything she's been through culminate in this scene is great. Her abandonment, her PTSD, her awful mother all come together and just peak in frustration in this scene. And the best part is that her story isn't over, actually. The scene opens up more room for development, because she was definitely talking about more than just Raven. Here's another picture of a sad bumblebee. So yeah, that's my favorite scene in all of RWBY. This I probably did not convey what I wanted to tell, but I had fun, and that's what matters, right? Wrong. When I have to spend a whole week just recording on this, you start to lower your standards. So yeah, but it was fun. So just, I don't know, talk amongst yourself, do whatever, I don't care. Goodbye.
This is